Hello and welcome to 621 Art Gallery's podcast. I did it for art, from our warehouse to the world. Welcome everyone to our first episode. My name is Bethany and I am a recent graduate of Florida State University. I majored in anthropology with a minor in museum studies.
Hello, I'm Casey. I am also an intern at 621 and recently graduated from Florida State University with a major in art history. Thank you for tuning in. If you are not familiar with 621 Gallery, we are located in a 4,000 square foot warehouse in Riverwood Square Art Park based in Tallahassee, Florida. We've been around for about 39 years now and have so much to share with you all.
In this podcast, we strive to fulfill 621's official mission, which is to expose people to the creative process, to platform significant conversations around our diverse communities, and to support artists' careers. 621 Gallery connects our audience to shifting cultural landscapes and meaningful ideas to empower individuals.
With our new podcast, we are so excited to share all of the amazing things happening behind the scenes here at the gallery, as well as the incredible work being done within our community and beyond. 621's scope ranges from local to international, and so will our podcast. So tune in and join the 621 family far and wide to connect with Tallahassee's premier contemporary art gallery.
A little about 621. We are a nonprofit and entirely volunteer run. We do this work for free, for the love of art, thus our gallery slogan, I did it for art. This podcast is being launched alongside our new 621 Gallery Patreon. Become a patron and support 621 Gallery while our physical location is closed due to the COVID-19 pandemic. More on our Patreon in a little bit.
Today we have our first and very special guest, Lauren Baker. Lauren is 621's Executive Gallery Director and our fearless leader. A little bit about Lauren. She received her MFA in Fine Arts at Florida State University, and while in school, she joined the 621 Board of Directors and served for 3 years until she moved up to the role of Executive Director. Not only is she the director of 621, but she is also an adjunct professor in the art department at FSU. Lauren is always here at the gallery, so if you have ever visited us, you've probably met her before. Her dedication, patience, and creativity drive the gallery forward. So Lauren, can you tell our listeners a little bit more about yourself, your role as the executive director, and what that all entails?
Hey, thank you so much for having me. It was while I was in my graduate studies at Florida State that I learned of art practices that revolved around community engagement. That's what I became really interested in, how to serve the community through art in a gallery platform. How to serve the Tallahassee community through art is always at the forethought of my mind every day at 621 Gallery, and that's what we try to do. My goal is for 621 to be a flexible space to form into whatever the community needs it to be, to highlight not only visual arts, but all forms of art that it can take. It's my hope that the visitors to the gallery will become engaged and start conversations and actions to continue to strengthen our community bond through art.
And I really want to highlight this idea that you mentioned that you want 621 to be able to form into whatever the community needs. I've noticed this about 621 and how the space is able to shift and transform for different groups of people and communities that often feel underrepresented. I also think this is important to highlight because right now we can see 621 transforming through this podcast.
Right, so why did we start a podcast? Well, the main reason really was to be able to engage with our audience in a new way. We at 621 are always aiming to be accessible to our local community. Throughout the history of our organization, we have always relied on people coming into this space and interacting with the art and each other. We have been wanting to start a podcast for a while, and of course, we are all aware of the global pandemic that has put a majority of business on hold, 621 included. For the safety of our guests, we are not encouraging visitors in the gallery space at this time. That being said, we still want to encourage meaningful conversations about art, and a podcast seemed like the best way to go about that. Lauren, do you have anything else to add?
Yeah, that's exactly right. I feel like this podcast is going to allow us to expand our scope, our representation, and our accessibility to the public.
And as Benny mentioned before, we are also just about ready to launch our Patreon. If you're unfamiliar with Patreon, here's a quick rundown. Patreon is a business tool for creators to run a subscription content service. It allows creators and artists to earn a monthly income by providing exclusive rewards and perks to their subscribers or patrons. If you are already a member of the gallery, then it's kind of the same thing, but rather than paying an annual fee, you pay 1 month at a time. There are multiple tiers patrons can subscribe to, and like our pre-existing membership packages, there are a variety of benefits that come with each subscription. Some of these include exclusive access to extended interviews, live stream conversations with artists, and video call conversations where we delve deeper into the arts, artists, and issues raised in our podcast. We promise to keep you, our listeners, informed on all of our Patreon updates as soon as we launch, and we hope that you consider supporting us on our new platform. If you'd like more information regarding our Patreon, please visit our Patreon on our website or feel free to reach out to us via email or social media.
In addition to the launch of our Patreon account, we have many more podcast episodes coming out soon. We plan on releasing every month, so keep your eyes peeled for our latest episodes. Some topics that we plan to cover include the history of 621 Gallery and Railroad Square Art Park, interviews with artists connected to 621, discussions on our daily operations and programming, and much, much more.
At this point in the episode, we would like to take a moment to thank our sponsors and guests of the gallery. Without them, none of this would be possible. On behalf of the gallery and our board of directors, we would like to express our appreciation for the Council on Culture and Arts, Tri-Eagle Estates, Tallahassee Redevelopment Agency, Visit Florida, Culture Builds Florida, Visit Tallahassee, Railroad Square Art District, Leon County, and the city of Tallahassee for all the support they have given us. We would also like to thank you, our listeners, for taking the time to hear what we have to say. As an art gallery, we believe that we exist to serve the community, so your feedback is extremely important to us. If there is anything you'd like to hear from us in the future, or if you would like to participate in the podcast, please let us know. Or if you just like what we're doing, we're open to suggestions. You can reach us on our social media platforms or via email at 621ididitforart@gmail.com. And don't forget to do it for art.
This podcast is created by 621 Gallery interns and features people who have crossed paths with 621. Join us on this podcast journey, handing you over to 621 correspondents who report from studios, conduct interviews, and more for 621's I Did It for Art podcast programming.